What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Lukas Röke podcast. My name is Lukas Röke, and today I'll be starting a new series called the Proverbs series. And as you guys might know, there's 31 chapters in Proverbs. So for the next 31 days, I'll be posting every single day one chapter of Proverbs, starting with Proverbs 1 today. We'll be reading it together, and I'll be talking about some of the verses which stick out and are significant. I'll be reading out of the ESV, English Standard Version, so if you have your Bible, feel free to read along. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Proverbs chapter 1, the beginning of knowledge. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to understand words of insight, to receive instruction in wise dealing, in righteousness, justice, and equity, to give prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the youth. Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. To understand a proverb and a saying, the words of the wise and their riddles. So here in verses 2 to 6, we already see what is seen as good and as wise. It's to know wisdom and instruction, to understand words of insight. And you might be thinking, well, everyone knows some sort of wisdom and instruction. No, but it's talking about a specific type of wisdom, the wisdom that the Bible teaches. And I'll be talking about the difference in Proverbs from knowledge and wisdom in a second. But let's read verse 7, which one could say is the most important verse in all of Proverbs. And it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. Without the fear of the Lord, you can't even begin to gain knowledge. You might think, well, I have a doctor's degree. I have some sort of master's, a bachelor. But if you don't fear the Lord, what do you truly have? Nothing. And here in the same verse, we have two groups of people. Those who fear the Lord and are willing to gain knowledge and do gain knowledge. And the fools who despise wisdom and instruction, who do not fear the Lord. And as I was previously mentioning, knowledge in Proverbs is seen as understanding the world and how it works. And wisdom is applying that knowledge. But how can you understand how the world works without fearing the Lord, without submitting to God, understanding that He is your creator? How can you understand everything else of this world, how the heavens and the earth were created, how we are all sinners? How can you do that without submitting to your creator? It's not possible. Verse 8, hear my son, your father's instructions, and forsake not your mother's teachings, for they are a graceful garland for your head and pendants for your neck. I just want to point out that thing, pendants for your neck. You may learn stuff from your parents, from your mother, from your father, and it may be stuck in your brain somewhere far back. But we're called this knowledge and wisdom that we're gaining, keep them as pendants for your neck, so that wherever you go, the same way this cross chain, I take it with wherever I go, I sleep with it, it's always with me. This wisdom and knowledge that I'm gaining should be a pendant for my neck, so that it's always with me. I can always apply it when I need it. Verse 10, my son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. If they say, come with us, let us lie in wait for blood. Let us ambush the innocent without reason. Like Sheol, let us swallow them alive, and whole like those who go down to the pit. We shall find all precious goods. We shall fill our houses with plunder. Throw in your lot among us. We will all have one purse. My son, do not walk in the way with them. Hold back your foot from their paths, for their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed blood. And you may be thinking, well, this situation doesn't apply to me, because my friends aren't killers. My friends don't murder. They don't wait for people to beat them up. But it might be something else. It might be your friends saying, let's go out tonight, let's go party, let's get drunk, let's sleep with women, sleep with men. And what does it say in verse 10? Do not consent. If sinners entice you, do not consent. Have that strength to say no. And you might think, well, I'm too weak. I'm just too weak to say no. I want to be with the crowd. Then pray to God and ask Him for that strength. The strength which surpasses all human understanding, which we can't find anywhere else but in Him. Find that strength in Him. Verse 17, for in vain is a net spread in the sight of any bird. But these men lie in wait for their own blood. They set an ambush for their own lives. Such are the ways of everyone who is greedy for unjust gain. It takes away the life of its possessors. And here we're just seeing, if you do bad to people, it will come around to catch you. By doing bad to others, you're just paving a way for your own life. And at some point, you'll end up being the victim of your own crime. Going out every week, for example, you're slowly killing yourself. You may think it's fun, but it's going to end up killing you. Verse 20, the call of wisdom. Wisdom cries aloud in the street. In the market she raises her voice. At the head of the noisy streets she cries out. At the entrance of the city gate she speaks. How long, O simple ones, will you love being simple? How long will scoffers delight in their scoffing, and fools hate knowledge? If you turn at my reproof, behold, I will pour out my spirit to you. Now I just want to go back to verse 20 real quick. We see that wisdom is being personified as a lady on the street, and she's crying out to everyone, but she's also crying out to the simple ones, the scoffers. Nowadays we would call people who think they are too far gone. She's not just crying out to the holy people or to the priests, the pastors nowadays. Back then, the Pharisees, Sadducees. No, she's crying out to the simple ones. Wisdom is for everyone to gain. It's not just for a certain group of people. Everyone can seek wisdom. And we read in verse 23, if you turn at my reproof, behold, I will pour out my spirit to you. Ask and you will receive. But you have to take that step and ask God for the wisdom. Seek that wisdom. Because I have called you and you refuse to listen, have stretched out my hand and no one has heeded. Because you have ignored all my counsel and would have none of my reproof, I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when terror strikes you. When terror strikes you like a storm and your calamity comes like a whirlwind, when distress and anguish comes upon you, then they will call upon me, but I will not answer. They will seek me diligently, but will not find me. There will be a time when it's too late. Maybe when your whole world is collapsing, and then you start seeking wisdom. Then you start seeking God. It might be too late then. Because as we are told in verse 9, we're meant to keep the wisdom and knowledge. We're meant to learn it and keep it as pendants in our neck so that when tough times come, we'll be able to grab it, use that knowledge in times of need. The times of need are not when we're meant to start seeking wisdom. That's when we're meant to have it, ready to be used. Verse 29, because they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord, would have none of my counsel and despised all my reproof. Therefore they shall eat the fruit of their way, and have their fill of their own devices. For the simple are killed by their turning away, and the complacency of fools destroys them. As I mentioned, you will fall victim to your own crimes eventually. If you keep turning away from wisdom, keep running away and thinking you know it all, and live the life you want to live. And finally, to close us off, verse 33. But whoever listens to me will dwell secure and will be at ease without dread of disaster. In the last couple of verses, we just saw what can go wrong if you don't seek wisdom. And I find it so beautiful that the last verse of chapter 1 is a verse of hope. But whoever listens to me will dwell secure and will be at ease without dread of disaster. Seek the Lord. Seek His wisdom, because you have nothing to lose when you seek Him. Because it can't get worse than not knowing anything, having no wisdom, but you have everything to gain. And for people who say Christianity is just a religion where you believe in one thing, you trust Jesus died for you and you'll make it into heaven, but you still go through hardships. It's true, you will still be persecuted, you will still go through hard times, but you'll have that safety that you can dwell secure without dread of disaster, because you were seeking that wisdom and you found that wisdom in Jesus Christ. I'll see you guys tomorrow for chapter 2, and God bless you guys.